Olympiakos are a giant in Greek football and they've finally been added to FC 25. But considering they've just won the Conference League, it's about damn time really. But aside from winning trophies for fun in Greece, that's the only piece of European silverware they've ever lifted. But that changes today, as for the first time on this channel, I'm taking over Olympiakos with one goal in mind. Win them the Champions League to make them the world's best club. So here we go guys, our journey with Olympiakos begins now, and this is the team that we've started with, and to be honest, I don't know what I was expecting, but this is a fairly solid team. I mean, granted, it's a very aging team. Jesus, they've even got Willian. I thought for sure he'd hung his boots up at this point. But Olympiakos have their young talent like Santiago Heze, only 22, 77 rated, he looks pretty decent. There's Greek centre-back Panagiotis Retsos, who's 25, 75 overall, and I really hope I've just got his name right. And there's Marko Stamenic, one of my favourite players from FC 24. Hopefully he can become one of my favourites in FC 25. And on top of that, ladies and gents, we got 20 million euros to spend in Season 1. Everything so far is looking pretty decent. I don't think it'll take us too long to make Olympiakos one of the world's best teams, but we do have an issue straight away. As we all know guys, the Greek Football League isn't in FC 25, so I've had to make a decision on where to actually stick Olympiakos. And as you can see from this map, it came down to two countries, either Turkey or Italy, but my good friend MWS went for Turkey when he did Olympiakos, so I've gone for Italy. And not only that, as you can see, Panathinaikos are with us, PAOK FC are, and of course AEK Athens are, so I've tried to make this as close to the Greek league as humanly possible. It does mean it's going to be harder to get this team to the top flight of Italian football, but I reckon we've got enough quality to do it in Season 1. But first things first, as always, we got to mess around with the tactics, so I'm going for the 4-2-3-1 wide with short passing build-up style and a balanced defensive approach with a decently high line. I mean, both of our centre-backs have decent pace, so I think we'll get away with that. As for our player instructions though guys, our front four are going to be high up the pitch with our two CDMs being a deep line playmaker and holding, with our fullbacks actually playing like fullbacks. As for the team itself, I believe that this is by a mile the strongest team that we can field for right now and thinking long term as well. As some of you may have noticed that Kostoulas is our striker up top. He's only 17 and showing great potential. I reckon if you give this guy enough time, he'll become an absolute monster in the future. But that does beg the question, doesn't it? Where on earth are we actually going to shove all this 20 million? Now, to be honest, looking at the team, I don't really want to mess around with it all that much. I mean, let's be honest, guys, we're pretty solid up and down the pitch with a couple of players in this team with real potential. But as you can see, guys, our left midfielder role's really weak. I mean, we've got a retiring Willian in that position and a very poor Christopher Valde playing there. I think we put all that money into a new left midfielder. So that's exactly what I've just done by spending 9.5 million on Alan Velasco. He's only 21 and showing great potential, plus he was playing in the MLS. He's far too good for that league. Now this leaves us with 10 million in our budget, but honestly, I don't want to spend any more on the team. I mean, looking at the team right now, guys, not only have we got a lot of talent in there, we've got a lot of future ballers in this squad. And that's why I'm shoving majority of our older players out on loan, man. I mean, I'm shoving our two strikers out on loan just to make sure our current youngster up top gets the game time he deserves and needs to improve. But going into Season 1, I'm happy with the team as it is. I'm not necessarily gunning for promotion just yet, because I do feel like this team still needs a bit of work before we enter the top flight of Italian football. But we have signed a very talented young winger in Alan Velasco, plus our team, as I've said, is pretty stacked, so I don't think it's going to take us too long to get promotion anyway. And as Season 1 draws to an end, I'm actually really happy and impressed with our stats, especially our strikers. Kostoulas got 20 goal contributions in 40 games. And not only that, man, look at the improvement in the ratings in this team, man. We have had a really good first year in charge. And frankly, guys, it looks even better on paper. Don't be surprised if we've got promotion. What did I tell you guys? We are second in the Serie B and we are promoted to the top flight of Italian football in only 1 year. Panathinaikos do go up as champions, but AEK Athens and PAOK weren't far behind us. As for the Coppa Italia, we didn't do too bad. Round of 16 before Milan knocked us out. But I'm buzzy with this team, man. Serie A football for Season 2. And when you properly look at the team, it shouldn't come as a surprise. It's a pretty stacked squad. But I don't think next year we can afford to play favourites, because we're up against the big boys of Italy. Inter, Roma, AC Milan, Juve, Napoli. We're up against some pretty good sides. So next year I'll be looking at everybody's development plans, seeing who's getting on a bit now, and ultimately making the decision of who should stay and who should be replaced. And whilst I've got your attention, if you're enjoying this Olympiakos rebuild in FC25, drop this vid a big old thumbs up and smash that subscribe button if you're new. Okay guys, season 2 of Olympiakos is here and it's official. We've got them top flight Italian football. But now it's my job to keep them there, and we've got 34 million euros to make that happen. And I've done exactly what I said I was going to do last year. I've gone through everybody's development plans and I've decided who I think should be the future for Olympiakos and who should get replaced. And no guys, Kostoulas is going absolutely nowhere. He's not even going out on loan. He's an exciting prospect. He's staying with us until the very end. Unfortunately, Masouras and also Gelson Martins aren't going to be. They're both in the 30s now. They're both only 75 overall. We need a stronger right winger. And it's the same for Yusuf Yazici. I mean, he's a solid player, don't get me wrong, but that development plan does not show that he's got something special. I mean, as you can see, it'll take him 135 weeks to become a better player, and I definitely feel like with our budget we can find someone better than him. Especially once I've sold all of these players. I mean, that budget to 34 mil is definitely going to be increased. And just like that guys, the job is done. I've managed to sell all 3 of these players. And we've now got 52 million euros to spend. With that kind of money, not only can we survive the Serie A, we can definitely compete in it. And as you guys know, we need a new cam and a new right midfielder, but there is a little issue I've ran into. Because my first instinct was to bring some Greek talent into this side to keep that Greek core within Olympiakos. But it seems like every decent Greek player I find has played for a rival of Olympiakos. For example, Christos Solis, I'm pretty sure played for either Panathinaikos or PAOK. And Fotis Ioannidis actually plays for Panathinaikos still, so we definitely can't go for him. And I think it's too late to utilise our youth academy because we're now playing Serie A football, and that one is completely on me. But I've noticed Olympiakos have a bit of Brazilian talent, so I'm going for Gabriel Pet from LA Galaxy for that right winger role. I mean, he's absolutely rapid with good dribbling, plus with him only being 24, there's still so much time for him to improve. And that's why I've just spent 27.3 million to sign him on a 5-year deal. And there he is in the team. We will need to convert him to a right midfielder, but that'll take maximum 2 weeks. As for the cam role, I've noticed a lot of Argentinian talent in this team, so I think Hernan Lopez would fit the bill perfectly, especially considering his contract's running out. He's a very versatile player by the looks of it, good pace, dribbling and shooting, and again, he's mid-20s, he's got so much time to improve still. And there we go, 13.3 million later, he's now signed for us on a 5-year deal as well. Now, we do have 7 million to spend, guys, but I think I'm going to leave the transfer window there. I mean, we've just signed 2 very talented players in Gabriel Peck and, of course, Hernan Lopez. And the team itself, as you can see, is really solid. I mean, I think we're going to smash it in the Serie A. I'm not saying we're going to get top 6 of European football or anything like that, but we defo aren't going to get our backsides handed to us. I definitely feel like a mid-table finish is certainly on the cards. And guys, I couldn't have been any more right. We are literally smack bang mid-table. Not only that, we're not far off European qualification, so that is definitely going to be Season 3's objective right there. But one other thing, guys, Athens finished 2 places below us, and Panathinaikos actually got themselves relegated, so it's safe to say out of the Greek teams, we're defo doing the best so far. As we once again make it to the round of 16 in the Coppa Italia again, I feel like at some point we will win this competition, but it's going to take a while. But then again, maybe not, because look at the state of this team, man. Not only is everybody happy, majority of this team have really improved. I mean, look at Kostoulas, man, 77 rated at 19 years old. What did I tell you? You give him time, he'll cook. As he's once again our top goal scorer with 20 goal contributions in 41 games. I would like to see our stats improve a little more next year, but we got to take this step by step. And the next step is sorting out the weaknesses in this team, and looking at it right now, it's beyond obvious where they are. I mean, I don't want to say it, but Retsos is one of them, guys. He's 27 now, 77 overall. We definitely need a better centre-back if we are to take top 6 football next year seriously. And I really hate to say this because he's legit one of my favourite players, but Marko Stamenic needs to be replaced too. I might send him out on loan, to be fair. He's only 24, still got that something special, but right now he's not got what we need. But I feel like once we sort these 2 positions out, we're definitely going to be knocking on European football's door for Season 4. But the board haven't really backed us in Season 3, guys. We've got 40 million alone to spend. That's not really that much considering we need a new CDM and a centre-back. I mean, that's about 20 million apiece for both of these positions. That's not really going to get us much better than what we've currently got. But maybe we don't have to make 2 signings, because as you can see from Staminic's development plan, it's taking 39 weeks to grow, granted, but he's still growing it at a decent rate. Whereas it'll take Retsos 103 weeks to become better, so I think we shove all that 40 million into a brand new, really good centre-back. So that's exactly what I'm going to do by signing Otavio from FC Porto, 24, 6'2", and for a centre-back got some really good stats. And more importantly, we can afford him. He'll be worth between 30 and 25 million, even his contract won't skint us. And after signing Otavio for 27.8 million, we've taken that one step closer to European football. And looking at the team now, I definitely feel like we're ready for it, man. Not the Champions League just yet, but Conference League or the Europa League, yes, absolutely. But I also think this season will be the turning point one way or another. If we have a great campaign and get European football, that'll lead us one direction, but if we go another way and we don't do that well, some players' time in this starting 11 will officially be up. But it looks like some players are safe, as we are top 6 in the Serie A. We've got Europa League football for season 4. That's mad, you know, 3 years in charge and already got European football. We still can't get past the round of 16 though, as Inter Milan knock us out this time. But looking at this team, guys, I'm really not surprised we've done so well. It was only a matter of time before it happened. And the stats are actually looking way better this year, but Kostoulas is our top goal scorer once again, 26 and 41. What a player he's turning into. But whilst our team is looking great at the minute, we can't take the Europa League for granted, because these are the teams that we are going to be competing against. And let me tell you, it isn't going to be a walk in the park. So if we want to do well next year in the Europa League, we have to be ruthless with what we do in next season's transfer window. I mean, I think we have to replace Stamanic now. He's only 25 granted, but he's only going up by 1 overall a season. We definitely need someone better. Maybe we replace Velasco as well, because to be quite honest, he's actually been really underwhelming. I thought for sure he'd have done way better than he has. This is all budget depending, remember, but because we've done so well in the Serie A this year, I reckon the board are finally going to properly back us. And guys, I was bang on the money. We've got 86 million in our budget. And with this kind of money, not only can we do well in the Europa League, we can compete for UCL football. But as I've already explained with you guys, we need to replace Velasco and Stamanic to get Olympiakos to that point. And guys, I'm not messing around this year, as I've just spent 37.5 million euros on Kenan Yildiz. Granted, he's the same rating as Velasco at the minute, but he's younger than him, and hopefully he's got a little bit more potential. Otherwise, this would have been a waste of a transfer. But we now have 43 million to spend on a CDM, and I have found one, but he might just be out of our price range. As I want Torino Samuel Ricci, 25, 82 rated, but he's worth between 40 and 50 million. So if we are to sign this guy, we're definitely going to have to throw a player into this deal, and failing that, we're going to have to sell a couple of players and then go back in for him. But that's just long for everybody, so I'm offering 29 mil alongside Stamanic. I might be overpaying at this point, but as long as the deal goes through, I really don't care. But will Torino accept this is the question. They've accepted it first time. Get in! And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we've got our CDM. And just look at the team now, guys. A stronger midfield, a stronger front four. We are looking solid going into the Europa League this year. But we do still have 11 million to spend, and I'm not stupid, guys. I know we've got a glaring weakness. Solakis is our best, and to be honest, our only decent keeper. Our other one is Botis, who's only 67 overall. And that's why I'm signing Nate Pope. I know he's mid-30s, but he's a good keeper, and he's well within our budget. It just makes sense for him to be our second choice. And there we go. Our transfer window's done after spending 3.5 million on Nick Pope. And to be fair, when you look at the depth now, it's not actually that bad now that we've got a second choice keeper. And hopefully that bodes well for us in the Europa League, as to be fair, I'm looking at some of the teams in this competition. I'm liking our odds are going quite far. But it's not been a great start in the Serie A. 4 games played, winning 2 and losing 2. But it's a long season ahead, guys, and we've definitely improved this team from last year. So he is hoping that at the end of this year, we jump from top 6 football to top 4 football. And if we have done it, guys, it'll be thanks to Kostoulas. 37 goal contributions in 55 5 games, he's legitimately carried us. But it wasn't to be. We miss out by 1 freaking point. For God's sake, Roma, man, give me a break. I mean, we do still have Europa League football for next year, but that is heart-wrenching, man. We were so close. And they've also beaten us to win the Coppa Italia. Oh my God, they've really got it in for us this year, haven't they? As for the Europa League, though, we're looking fantastic. We finished 3rd in the league phase and we go straight to the round of 16, where we just about beat Royal Antwerp on penalties, but crash out against Feyenoord in the quarters. Honestly, if we can't beat Feyenoord, we have no business being in the UCL anyway. So that's our job for next year, man. Getting this team ready to get top 4 football and, of course, to compete in it. And I think the first step in doing that is replacing Hernan Lopez. I mean, to be fair, like Velasco, he's been really underwhelming as well. And I think we need to improve our defence next year too, man. Salakis is phenomenal in goal, but he does need a bit of help. And hopefully, once we sorted that out, we'll no longer be missing out on UCL football by 1 point. We'll be freaking in that competition in Season 6. And the board are doing their part to help make that happen. They've given us 121 million. But am I greedy and saying I don't think that's actually enough? I mean, think about it. We need a couple of better defenders and we need a new cam. That works out at about 40 million per signing. So this 121 million, whilst it's a great deal of money, isn't going to get us very far. So that's why I'm selling all of these players, and hopefully once they've been gone and sold, we'll have close to 200 million to spend. But never mind close to, we've got more than that, 228 million to be exact. Which works out at around 70 million per signing. Ladies and gentlemen, we are covered. And starting with the left back, I want to weaken one of our biggest threats to UCL football this year, so I'm signing Federico Di Marco from Inter. Granted, he's 30, but he's such a well-rounded centre-back, and to be honest, he's very cheap for how good he is, as we've only had to spend 46.8 million to sign him on a 3-year deal. I'm also signing Jean-Claude Todibo to massively improve our defence. He's absolutely rapid with great defending and physicality. I mean, what more can we want from a centre-back? And after spending another 55.2 million, that's our defence sorted. It is actually insane just how much better our back four is, man. We just need a new cam and we are absolutely golden. And believe me, I took care of that, as I've just spent a whopping 103.7 million on attacking midfielder Sudakov. 2 years younger than Hernan Lopez and levels above him, 100 odd million well spent. And never mind the Europa League, this team should be in the Champions League. It's actually embarrassing that it isn't at this point. But for now at least, we've got to sell for the Europa League, and I'm not being funny, I'm not accepting anything other than winning this competition. We're far too good for it right now. And I defo want top 4 football from the Serie A. But I've done all I can to make that happen. It's now up to these boys, this Olympiakos team, to pull it off on the pitch. And you know what, guys? Something tells me they may have just done it. I mean, look at these stats, for goodness sake. Our front four defo know how to score goals. And the team itself is absolutely insane at this point. I swear, if we haven't done it this time, I actually give up. We've finally done it! We are top 4 in the Serie A. Olympiacos are back in the UCL. It has taken half a freaking decade, but we finally got there. We're still pants domestically though, guys. AC Milan beat us in the Super Cup, and Fiorentina knock us out of the Coppa Italia. But the Europa League, on the other hand, is looking good. We are 5th in the league phase, and we go through automatically to the knockouts, where we smash Ghent 5-3, but we lose to Palace in the quarters. Are you taking the mick at this point, man? Surely you've got to be. How does this team lose to Crystal Palace? Maybe next year I've got to rob some Crystal Palace players. But we got to forget about that, guys. We finally made the leap from the Europa League to the Champions League. And these are the types of teams that we are going to be playing. It really is a leap from the Europa League, man. No Crystal Palace anymore, more like freaking Bayern Munich. And I think improving this defence is the only thing we've got to do in the starting 11. Obviously, there's depth issues, but we can easily sort that out. Because we got top 4 in the Serie A and we made the quarters in the Europa League. Surely the board have got to take notice of that and give us a lot of goddamn money. And I'm happy to say, guys, it's exactly what they've done. We've got 152 million. And once we sort our defence and depth issues out, I don't see any reason why we shouldn't be targeting winning the Champions League in our first season in it. But first things first, we needed to sort our defence out, so I spent a whopping 93 million on centre-back Scalvini. He's 6'4", mid-20s, and already that good, man. Imagine how good he's going to be in the next 3 or 4 years' time. And there we have it, guys. Our starting team for now is finally complete. Now we just need to work on our depth. depth, which as you can see is really lacking at the minute. We need a striker, another keeper, maybe a fullback, a couple of midfielders. But luckily we've got 53 million in our budget, so financially we're all set for this. So I decided to start back to front by spending 16.3 million on Vanja Milinkovic-Savic. We were after a second choice keeper, and quite frankly guys, I think we got the perfect keeper for the job. And that leaves us 34 million to spend, but honestly we don't need this kind of money. Because I went onto the free agents list and look who I found. Sergio Guirassy, I found a regen called Ethan Blanchard, and I found Mykhailo Mudryk. I mean, not only are these three players absolutely quality, they're playing in the positions that we desperately need depth for. And there we go, after the final signing of Mykhailo Mudryk for absolutely nothing, that's our transfer window done. And just look at the team now. Not only is the starting 11 insane, so is the depth on our bench. We are absolutely ready for whatever this year's got to throw at us. I'm hoping that's the case anyway, because after half a decade of trying, we are finally in the Champions League. And trust me when I say, I didn't plan on crashing out of this competition early on. I want to bloody win it. Just like I want to win the Serie A too. And to be fair, we're off to a good start. We've come a long way with Olympiacos, man. But looking at how good this team has become now, I feel like this journey with them may be coming to an end. But unfortunately, we're still not good enough to win the Scudetto. AC Milan beat us to it by a whopping 8 points. Honestly, to win this title, you've got to be near on perfect from start to finish. But we finally won the Coppa Italia, ironically beating AC Milan to do it. As for the UCL, we go through automatically to the round of 16 after finishing 8th in the league phase. And that's where we smash PSV 4-2, but lose to City in the quarters. For goodness, we literally could have had RB Salzburg and you give us Man City. Are you joking? I mean, at the very least, we did lose to the Champions League winners. God, they smashed Liverpool as well. I'm genuinely gutted, guys. I thought for sure we'd done enough this year to win the Champions League. We've got 4 freaking players who are 90 overall or above, man. What more do we have to do? I mean, the stats are incredible as well. 33-2 for Kostoulas and 24-12 for Sudakov. The only thing I can think of is our bench still isn't up to scratch, because our starting 11 most certainly is at this point. I mean, our weakest link in the starting team is Costinha, who's 86 rated, and frankly, when you're that good, you're not a weakness. But the good news at the very least, guys, because we finished second in the Serie A, we have once again qualified for the UCL. And hopefully, once we sorted our depth problems out, we can finally say that Olympiacos are the world's best club. And thankfully, the board are once again going to help us achieve that. We've got 172 million to spend. And looking at the bench, guys, we need a striker, we need a cam, we need a CDM to replace Heze or Rich when the time comes, and we need another fullback. And with us having this much money to spend, I'm not pulling my punches, guys. I'm going all in to try and win Olympiacos that Champions League this year. And that's exactly why I've just spent 50 million on second choice striker Young Bonnie. He's in his mid-20s, standing at 6'2", and he's absolutely rapid. If this guy comes running at you, you better get out of the way, otherwise you're going to get crushed. I've also just spent another 40 million on fullback Serginho Dest. 84 rated at almost 30 years old. It really is about time we had more quality depth for our defence. And we've still got 70 million to spend, but realistically we don't need all of this money. Because I found the 2 final players that I'm going to sign, Franco Mastantuono from Chelsea and also a free agent CDM called Timo Lang. Both early 20s, both very good players, and more importantly, both very affordable. And there we go, after spending 47 million combined on both of these players, that officially wraps up this transfer window. And guys, as you can see, our bench is now officially stacked. So if we are successful in winning the UCL this year, I literally don't know where we're going wrong. As here we are once again in the league table for the UCL, ranked a little bit higher this time, and I should think so, because last year we were ranked literally the worst team in the entire group. It's a decent start to the Serie A as well, but this year, I don't want to finish second and come short, man. I actually want to win the Scudetto. And frankly, guys, at this point, if this team can't pull that off, no team on planet Earth will be able to pull that off. Guys, I give up at this point. We are second in the Serie A once again. We lost out on the Scudetto by 2 freaking points. Honestly, Roma have been the bane of my existence in this video. And this is what I mean. They also knock us out of the Super Cup. And AC Milan Milan knock us out in the semis of the Coppa Italia, we're moving swiftly on and hopefully moving swiftly on to better news. And thankfully it is, because we're 7th in the league phase and we go through automatically to the round of 16, where we've smashed Sevilla 4-2 and we've beaten PSG 3-2. We could be playing Atletico, Real Madrid or Bayern Munich. Honestly, at this point, I don't care who we face. We've just beaten PSG. And we played Madrid and beat them on penalties 5-4. We're playing Bayern Munich in the final. I must admit, it's a nice change to play somebody else in the final, man. I think this is our first final against Bayern. And looking at their team, guys, it's honestly not surprising. They've got a very good front four, but the rest of the team is pretty average. Whereas not only are our front four absolutely insane, as you can clearly see from how many goals they've scored, but our entire team at this point is beyond world class. And the best thing is, we've got a couple of OGs from the very beginning. I mean, Solakis is in the team, we've got Costinha still here, and we've also got Kostulas, who I said from day one I had faith in, and look what's happened. But so far, guys, somehow we've only managed to win one trophy with this world-class setup. But all of that could change in the next 90 minutes, as all we got to do is beat Bayern Munich in the UCL final to make Olympiacos the world's best club. Yildiz on the ball now, pushing forward on the left-hand side of the pitch. Teze is with him, but Yildiz is still on the ball. He could go all the way here. Oh, what a save. Peck now on the other side of the pitch. Oh, our striker's through. Kostulas is through. Oh my god, that is filthy. This is actually a joke of how good of a goal this is. He literally looked up once and smacked it top right bins. Literally, the keeper didn't even move. Kostulas might just be my new favourite striker on this game already. Sudakov on the ball now, though. He's looking for a bit of room. Oh, he's done really well there. Kostulas, he's got another chance. Oh, save this time. Kostulas is on the ball now, though. He's found Peck. Oh my god, Peck is absolutely rapid. Balde is with him, but can Peck put this away? 2-0. 35 minutes into the game. Is it game over already? I mean, you know you're quick when you're outpacing Alejandro Balde, but here come Bayern Munich. They're definitely not taking this line down. Good save. Bayern have a free kick on the edge of the box here. I don't know why, because he didn't show me the replay, but I don't like that. Oh my freaking god. What was I worried about? Yildiz on the ball now, though. He's away from his man. I tell you what, let's have a dink from distance. Oh, what a goal that would have been. Here come Bayern, though. They're looking deadly, and they've got a goal back with 20 minutes to go. That's poor defending from us, man. Leaving a man open that close to our goal. We were just asking to concede there. And Bayern are looking for a second straight after scoring the first. Oh, they might get it as well. Oh my god, they've actually done it. They literally scored a goal not 5-10 minutes ago, and with 10 minutes to go in this game, they're back in it. That's shocking from us, man. We need to be doing so much better. There is still time to get a winner, though, and we may just get it right now. Okay, our striker. Oh, what a save. Man, that would have been a great goal. Yildiz on the corner, our first corner of the game. Head on that. Oh my god, we've done it in the dying seconds of the game. Heze with the header. This has been a mad 15 minutes. We're 2-0 up, then it's 2-2, and then we go 3-2 up again. Yildiz with a phenomenal ball in. Heze with the header. I mean, the keeper doesn't stand a chance. And now it's up to us to make sure we've got no more stupid mistakes in us, man. Just hold on for a couple of minutes and we're the best team in the world. And that's exactly what we've done. We've beaten the German Giants in the final 3-2. We've made Olympiacos the world's best team. And this is officially now my longest rebuild of FC25 so far. 7 seasons in total it took us to win the UCL. Despite how good Olympiacos are, that was not easy. We did manage to take 4 players into the Champions League final, but honestly, try this yourselves in Italy and see how you get on. But I'll tell you how I got on. Look at the screen right now. We are officially the Champions League winners. And that means my job with Olympiacos is done. If you've enjoyed this video with them, want to see more content like this, be sure to leave this video a big old thumbs up and smash that subscribe button if you're new. And if you want to watch more content from me right now, click here because YouTube recommends you watch this.